Thank you so much for clicking on my video. So today I'm going to be showing you a pretty glamorous but simple, sophisticated bridal look, and this could be for a bride, a bridesmaid, if you're attending a wedding, but this can also be for any kind of special event that you are going to. For the most part, I didn't do anything crazy. There's no glitter. There is some shimmer, there's some sparkle, but in a very subdued kind of look. Still glamorous, but not like crazy, glitter and different, type of effects. I just wanted to do something a little bit more classy, a little bit more sophisticated, but still very pretty. And I think a lot of people will comment how much they love your makeup look if you decide to recreate this look. For this tutorial, I will be using the Nudie Patootie palette from Laura Lee. I figured that this palette will look really nice for a bridal look, so I wanted to show you, if you already have this palette or you're planning on getting it, how you could use it for your bridal look or for special event look. Thanks so much for watching my video, and go ahead and keep watching for the tutorial. Okay, so I have a lot of stuff going on in my face. I have big under eye circles, I have a lot of hyperpigmentation, I have scarring from post-acne marks. So I definitely don't have perfect skin. So this routine, I'm gonna show you step by step how I get my face looking a lot better than it does right now. I'm using Tarte's Mermaid Skin Hyaluronic Acid H2O Serum. This step is also very important if you have dry skin. Even if you have oily skin, I would still recommend this step. It's not gonna make you look any oilier. It'll just increase the longevity of your makeup that you're putting on top. Next, I'm applying a primer kind of cream. This is the Beauty Filter Cream Glow from Sun & Park. For me, this works as a primer and a moisturizer. It really makes the skin give a really nice glow. And I just feel like my skin looks a little bit more plump after I put this on. You definitely do not want to skip some kind of primer when you are going to be at an event like a wedding. The primer is going to help lock in your makeup to stay on the entire event. Next, I'm taking my Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Long Wear Foundation, and this is in the shade 2W1 Macademia. I'm going to take a couple of squirts onto this metal palette. This is by Makeup Designery. Got a couple squirts there. Then I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Skin Booster, and I'm applying 2 drops of that into the foundation. Next, I'm taking a Sigma Flat Angled Kabuki F88. I'm going to apply some Fix Plus on the tip of the bristles. This is a good tip to use to make sure that your brush doesn't absorb all of the foundation. And I'm just going to mix up the serum and the foundation and then just start applying that to my face. Now you might be wondering why I'm using a brush instead of a sponge. I just find that a brush a lot of times has more coverage than a sponge, and I want to have the most coverage I can get right now. You want to make sure to get down the neck and on the ears. And try to work it as much as you can onto your hairline. I'm also going to apply about another layer of this foundation just to get a little bit more coverage. I like how buildable this coverage is, so I picked this foundation for that reason, and also the fact that if you're the type of person that really only needs about a medium coverage, then this foundation will be perfect for pretty much anybody. So you can have a medium coverage, you can have full coverage. And if you mix it with a little bit of moisturizer, you can have just a nice light coverage. And the finish is very beautiful and skin-like. I'm gonna take my Sigma Precision Tapered P86. And just a little bit of the leftover foundation. I'm gonna go over the spots that need a little bit of extra coverage with just a little bit more of the foundation. I'm not sure if you can tell, but the scars that I have on the side of my face definitely look a lot better than when I first started. There's no way that you can completely take away the texture of a scar on your face, but you can make it look a little bit less noticeable by applying a couple layers of foundation and a little bit of powder. Next, I'm going to use a color corrector. This is from Lancome. It's the Teinte Idole Ultra Wear Camouflage Corrector, and this is in the color Peach. I'm going to use this on my under eye circles. This is really a holy grail product if you have really bad under eye circles like I do. So I'm just taking my P86 and dipping into some of that product, and I'm going to apply it under my eyes. You want to make sure that you go into this inner corner part of the eye because there's also a dark circle that goes through there. With my Sigma F86 that I've dampened with some Fix Plus, I'm just going to go ahead and blend that in. So you can probably tell that my under eye circles look a lot better now, but I always recommend to put a regular concealer color, like your flesh color, over a color corrector for it to look perfect. I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand onto my palette. This is a very thick, full coverage concealer. If you don't like how super full coverage that concealer is, I would just use the Laura Mercier. I'm just gonna put some under the eye. You don't have to use a ridiculous amount of this product. I know a lot of people tend to put like huge gobs under their eyes, but I don't really think it's necessary. This is pretty full coverage with just a little amount of product. To set the concealer, I'm using my Too Faced Peach Perfect Powder. I love this powder because it's very light and it sets the makeup really well. Taking my Sigma F03, taking some powder from the cap, I'm just gonna lightly dust that over my concealer. I'm gonna go back to the powder later to powder the rest of my face, but before I do that, I'm going to contour with a cream product. I'm gonna use a product that's pretty old school. I mean, at least it's been around for a while, but it's really awesome, and I just don't know why it's not used as often anymore. This is the Chanel Soleil de Tan de Chanel, and I'm going to use that with a Sigma F04. So I'm gonna take some of that product onto my brush and go ahead and contour under my cheeks first, the hollows of my cheekbones. I like this product because it's buildable and it's creamy, but it kind of turns into a powder after you apply it, and it doesn't look so crazy. Like, it looks like I did add some dimension to my face, but it doesn't look like it was so. It's such an obvious thing that I did to enhance my features. It's very natural looking. I'm also going to apply this product on my forehead area, just like the perimeter of the face. I feel like this step is really important to do, especially if you're going to a special event like a wedding. Your face is not just a one-dimensional color. A lot of times when you put this much products on just foundation, your face can look really flat. So applying a color that's a little bit, two to three shades darker than your skin tone will give a lot of dimension to your face, and it just kind of helps the look come together. So I'm gonna go back into this contour product, and I'm going to apply some on the side of my nose with my P86 brush. Don't regularly contour my nose. I'm not really like self-conscious about it or anything like that, but I think when I do a special event look, I like to look a little bit more chiseled than usual. I want to go kind of like on the tip of your nose here too, and the sides. And I'll go back into my Tarte concealer and put just a little bit down the bridge of my nose, clean off my brush a little bit, or you can use a different brush, and just blend it out. Kind of like to drag it a little bit to the center of my forehead too. I'm gonna go back into my Too Faced powder with my F03 brush, and I'm just gonna apply some powder on my forehead and on my cheeks where I have some pores, on my nose, and on my chin. I tend to get a little bit oily, so it's really important for me to powder a little bit. at this stage in my makeup process. Next up is the brows, and I'm going to be using two brow pencils. I'm using the Anastasia Brow Wiz in chocolate and in soft brown. You don't have to do this. You can just use one brow pencil, but I feel like my brows look more refined when I use a lighter shade in the beginning of the brow and a darker shade towards the tail end of the brow. First thing I'm going to do is brush my brow hairs up. The point of doing this is so that you can fill in the gaps a little bit easier than when the brows are in place. And then with the soft brown, I'm going to create a nice little faint line here. And then I'm going to, with soft wispy strokes, create some fake hairs in the front of my brow. I'm going to do soft little strokes like that. Then with the chocolate pencil, I'm going to go into the tail end. Your tail end is supposed to end by the corner of your eye. Don't quite take it out as long there, but I try to take it as much as I can that looks natural, because I don't really have a lot of hairs there. And then just fill in the rest of the brow. I'm going to take this pencil from Benefit, it's called Highbrow, and it just gives you a nice highlight under your brow and also helps you kind of fix up your mistakes a little bit. Take my Sigma P86, I believe, yes, and just blend out that highlight. I recommend getting a brow gel or a brow wax to keep your brow hairs in place. I'm using the Tarte Busy Gal Brows, and this is in the color of black brown, which I think is actually a little bit too dark for me, but I just kind of scrape out as much product as I can so I could just really use the gel part. I'm just gonna go through my brows very quickly to kind of get them to stay in place. If you know that you're gonna have a little bit of a mess under your eyes, I would just go ahead and do your eyeshadow first and then do the steps that I just took next. So I'm going to apply an eyeshadow primer. This is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. A lot of people just use some concealer and setting powder. That really does not work for me. I have oily lids and that's just gonna make a creasing mess for me, so I have to use eyeshadow primer, but you can use just concealer or you can use a MAC paint pot, whatever suits your fancy. The palette I'm using today is the Laura Lee Nudie Patootie palette. I just feel like these colors are very bridal friendly, so I just figured I could create a really beautiful look with this eyeshadow palette. All these colors I feel like would work really nice for a very beautiful and shimmering bridal look. So I'm going to be taking a blending brush, and this is from Sigma, it's an E40, and I'm taking this matte, it's hard to explain, kind of like a matte taupey-ish color. It's called Streaky. I'm going to take a little bit of that product onto my brush. I'm doing some windshield wiper motions here, taking it old school. Remember we used to say, the beauty gurus back in the day used to say that a lot. Anyway, so I'm just going to be taking that into the hollows of my eyes and just start defining them. I'm going to go a little bit darker and take this shade called Reveal onto my blending brush. And I'm going to apply that a little bit closer to the crease. But mainly on the outer portion of the hollows of my eyelids. I'm also taking a little bit of that color on the outer corner of the eye. Next I'm going into the shade Butt Naked, which is a medium matte brown with my Sigma E30. Just taking a little bit of that color. And I'm going to take that on the outer corner of the eye and the outer third, like so. I'm going at this at an angle, kind of making like an outer V. I don't know if that term is still used, but essentially like where the darker color goes out here and then goes down here. So it kind of makes a little bit of a V shape. Then I'm going to go back with my blending brush and just kind of soften everything I just did. Just doing little circles over everything, just soften everything. I like to have a very gradual gradation of colors. Then with the same pencil brush, I'm going into Nakey Nakey, and this is kind of like a wood matte brown. I'm gonna apply that just on the tippy outer part of my lid on the outer V. It's not gonna look pretty at first. I'm just placing the color and then I'm gonna blend it out with my blendy brush. Just wanna go over everything and blend it out. I really recommend using a little bit of color at a time to get the best results. I'm gonna take a little bit of Bare. It's this matte peachy color. I'm gonna apply that on the edge where the dark colors are. I just think it looks kind of pretty to have like a little bit of a kind of peachy reddish color there. So I like to have a little bit of sparkle. You can definitely just go into Undressed and apply that on the rest of the part that doesn't really have eyeshadow. And that'll be a really beautiful matte look. But I think a little bit of shimmer goes a long way and it looks very eye-catching. So I am going to take my Sigma F70 and I'm gonna go into Topless. Just really saturate the brush with that color. And just to give it a little bit extra sparkle, I'm gonna spray some Fix Plus onto this. I'm gonna apply it on the center of the lid. I go back with my blending brush and just kind of blend the line between those two colors. I decided I want to darken up the outer part a little bit more, so I'm going to go into some more Butt Naked with my blending brush and just darken the outer corner up just a little bit. I'm also going to take a little bit of Uncover onto a E55. I'm going to apply that onto the inner corner of the eye. I'm going to take a synthetic E30 and I'm going to go into Reveal and apply that under my eye. I'm going to clean off my pencil brush and then I'm going to show you my little secret weapon. So I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Star Powder, and this is in, gosh, I don't even know. I'm gonna put the numbers in the description box. It says REF 90902. I'll find it, I'll put it in the description box for you. This is an iridescent powder and it adds a lot of beautiful sparkle. So I'm gonna add some on the inner corners of my eye. Now this isn't glitter, it's a very, very fine shimmer. And I just like how it gives a little light to the eye. You can definitely skip this step if you don't want this much sparkle, but I just felt like it gave a nice little lift to the eye. Next, I'm going to take my Kat Von D tattoo liner and I'm just going to put a thin line over on the upper lash line, just kind of hide the lash band I'm going to put on later. Really recommend doing soft, short strokes when you're applying eyeliner so you have less of a chance to mess up. Next, I'm going to apply some mascara. I'm using MAC Haute and Nudie Waterproof Lash Mascara. I've always loved this mascara. I think it's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and apply it to my top and bottom lashes. So I like how my lashes look even without false lashes, but I think it's definitely necessary for a bridal look. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop those on. Today I'm using Ardell Professional Faux MInk luxuriously lightweight with Invisiband lashes, and these are number 812. So they're faux mink. I don't support using mink lashes, but you know, use whatever lashes you feel looks best for you. I wanted to get something that flared out like that. I think it's really pretty. I'm using my Tartist Pro Lash Glue, and this is in black. So I'm just gonna apply a thin coating of that on the lash band. Just go ahead and wait for the glue to become tacky for about 30 seconds. So I'll go ahead and put it on the center of my lid first and then adjust the sides. Okay, so I already have the lashes on and I love how they look. They look just like MInk lashes, but without the animal cruelty. And they look really, I think they have a really beautiful flared out look. In any case, I feel like this eyeshadow look is beautiful. It's not too crazy. I think it's very glamorous. And I think this would be appropriate for pretty much any wedding, any special event type thing where you just want to look refined and classy and with a little bit of shimmer to kind of highlight your eyes and enhance them. So let me go ahead and show you how I'm going to fix up the rest of my face. Now I do own a few contour palettes, and I have to say hands down the best one that I own is this simple Smashbox contour palette. It just has all the shades that you need. I feel like some of the contour palettes just have way too many shades that you're probably never going to use. These are the 3 basic shades that you need. You got a highlighter, a bronzer, and a contour shade, which is a matte kind of gray brown, like a taupey. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I'm gonna contour my face a little bit more. Now, you don't have to do this step if you are already happy with the cream contour you put on. You will have a longer lasting effect if you put a powder on top of the cream. So just, you know, for your knowledge, you don't have to do this step, but it probably will last longer throughout your event if you do put the powder on. So I'm gonna start off with this brown, and I'm using my Sigma Soft Angled Contour Brush. So I'm going to take a little bit of that color and just go over where I put the cream contour. I love this brush because it really blends out products very easily. Also good to kind of shade the jawline, kind of help a little bit of extra pudge you might got going on like I do. And I clean off my brush a little bit and then go into the highlight shade and just put that under the contour. I also like to put just a little bit under my eyes, kind of brighten a little bit on the chin and down the nose. I really recommend any of the Instain blushes from theBalm because they are blushes that stain your cheeks a little bit, but it's a powder product, and so it lasts for a super long time. I really recommend it for a special event. I'm using the Sigma F40 Large Angled Contour. I like to go in a little bit at a time because this color is very pigmented, so I kind of like to build it up. And I like to start at the apple of the cheek, the center, and just kind of blend it back. Next, I'm going to take my Sigma Spotlight Duster, this F37, and my Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter. This is honestly one of the best products I've ever used, so I'm going to be using it today for my bridal look. And I'm just going to apply that on the highest parts of my cheekbones. If you want more pigmentation, I suggest wetting your brush, but I don't want to go too crazy. Just want to have like the perfect amount of highlight. I also like putting some on my nose. You know, some people don't really like that, but I've just kind of gotten into it. I think it looks kind of cool. Also another personal choice, but I also like to take a little blending brush and apply just a tad of the product under the highest part of my arch. Just a little bit to kind of, I like the little highlight when you take pictures. I think it looks pretty. So for the first part of this, I'm going to use my MAC Prep and Prime lip. I like to apply this first because it does a really good job of moisturizing my lips, and it also preps the lips for lipstick. I'm going to start out with a lip liner. I'm using theBalm's Pickup Lip Liner, and I don't know the shade, but I will put it in the description box. So kind of line my lips a little bit. Next, I'm going to take Beauty Bakerie Lip Whip in Louvre Palace, I think is what it's called. I love Beauty Bakerie lip products. They do not come off, so this is definitely a good pick for a long wearing product. And this is a matte lip product, so I'm going to put some gloss on top just to give a little bit more elegance to the look. Last product I'm going to apply on my lips is the Read My Lips lip gloss from theBalm, and this is in the color Snap. So this is the finished look for the eye makeup and the face makeup and everything, but the last step would be to apply a setting spray. Now, if you feel like you're getting a little bit too powdery looking, you can just get the MAC Fix Plus and put a little bit of mist of that on your face, and it'll help take down a little bit of the powdery look. But if you're happy with everything, you can just apply the Skindinavia, the Makeup Finishing Spray Bridal. This is the best, in my opinion, finishing spray for a bridal or event look where you're going to be out for a really long time and you want everything to stay in place perfectly. So that's it for my bridal makeup look. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I tried to make it as simple as I could. I think that a lot of the products I used are really fabulous and help me get from point A to point B, which point A is just, you know, just basic me, you know, without any of the glamour, and then glamorous me. So yeah, makeup is really fun. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Please let me know in the comment section below if you're going to recreate this look, if you liked it, and if you have any suggestions for future videos that you'd like to see from me. This was something I did just for fun. I like doing these kind of videos every once in a while, and I love bridal looks. So I figured that it would be fun for me to do a video like this today. Anyways, wrapping up, thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button or hit me a like, or, you know, engage with me. I love communicating with, you know, fellow makeup lovers. Anyways, bye guys, see you in the next video.